Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of One Queen and Four Kings as we celebrate the men in our lives, looking through the book of Esther. It is my singular joy today to welcome into this episode one man that we love to encounter in our lives. And that is for men that are our lovers, the men that we have a romantic relationship with. And it is my joy to welcome this king, the king of his own household, the king of his empire, and I would say the king of my heart. As Queen Esther, I welcome King Ahasuerus to our episode. Long live the king, sir.
Thank you.
Long live the king.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcomed.
Thank you. Thank you, Queen Esther. Thank you.
Our dear king, we would like to know, what does it feel like to be a king? Not just a man, but a person that has the responsibility of taking care of many, the affairs of a kingdom and all that it entails. What does that mean to you?
Thank you. That's a very, very important question. And I'm happy to be on this platform with you. I've been hearing that there are some others that you've had that were very good as well. But I'm so glad that I can join you on this one. Well, as a king is a representative of God. You know, every king is ruling on behalf of God, either over an empire, over a nation, over a family, over dominion. Every king rules as a charge of God. And that's the first thing. And God is a person who provides, a person who protects, is a being that is very, very intentional about taking care of the people under his care. So as a king, one of the first assignments is protection, providing safety for the people in your realm. You know, and then the second assignment is providing for the sustenance, making sure that there is food supply. So you see about the economic growth of your realm. You see about the social growth of your realm. You see about, making sure that the finances, the markets are vibrant and things are working in favor of your people. They have work to do and they can have good livelihood. So a king is a provider and is also a protector. There are so many other things, but I think I'll just start with that for now.
Wow. Thank you so much, my king.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Because I have seen you demonstrate this attributes, this responsibility, not just over your nation of the Medes and the Persians, but over your own household. I have seen the way you have ensured that I, your queen, am protected. I have seen how you have made sure that my needs are met, O King. And I celebrate you as the king of my heart today. One of the things that never ceases to amaze me is how you have celebrated me. Even though I came into the realm as a very young lady, I didn't have a whole lot of confidence in myself. But the moment I stepped into your courts, sir, you welcomed me. And then you placed the crown on my head. What was that for you, sir? How were you able to celebrate a woman like that?
Well, thank you again, my queen. Thank you. For the benefit of those who need to know the secrets of our family, because we are the first family, I just want to let them know that, a good woman is the crown of her husband. That's what the good book, the Bible says, And every woman that knows her place as a support, as a helpmeet for her husband, knows that she represents the interests of the husband, the household, wherever she goes. And in our own case, I knew that you're coming into the realm to become the queen meant that you represent the interests of our empire to the women folk first, and then to the whole empire. So how I celebrate you will definitely impact how other men celebrate the women who represent them in their families or in their kingdoms or in their nations. So they needed to know that putting a crown on your head meant that you were important to this empire and to make sure that it was running smoothly. And the way I place the crown on your head also represents the value that I place on you. So that's just the way it is. I needed to let people know how important my queen was and that my queen represents all the women. And by the way, women should not be taken for granted. They are a force to be reckoned with. So how you celebrate the women in your life definitely impacts on how you are celebrated in turn. As a man, as a king, as a father, as a husband, you celebrate the woman in your life, you will get celebrated too. So that's just the simple way I see it.
Thank you, sir, O King. My other question, as I was wondering, is that you were able to place a physical crown on my head, sir. What can other men do who may not, because there's only one crown, and I wear that in the kingdom, in the realm. However, there are women in their homes that want to be affirmed and celebrated the way you have celebrated me. How would you advise other men to place crowns over their wives' heads? It may not necessarily be a physical crown, but what are some behaviors, some acts of placing the crown on the woman's head, sir?
Affirmation, for one. Remember the day that you came and you came without being invited, as the custom of the land was. But, because you are my queen, I felt it was necessary to affirm you publicly.
That was so scary. I wasn't sure.
Well, there are rules and there are rules. The first rule is to affirm my queen publicly, to let people know that she is important to me. The situation with your predecessor, Vashti, was a public disgrace because of what happened. And we'll leave that to history. But in your case, when you showed up and you came to the palace, yeah, uninvited, but you are still my queen. So a public affirmation of a person's wife is the first crown that a husband can place on the head of his wife. When the wife knows that she is valued, she is appreciated, and the husband speaks kindly and warmly to her publicly, It beats any physical crown that he may place on her head. What is a crown? If you have a crown on your head and somebody speaks lowly of you, or speaks down to you, or just not even giving you acknowledgement in a public situation, what's the value of the crown? But speaking softly, turning towards the wife, making the wife know her voice counts. I think that for me is the most important crown, and loving the woman the way she wants to be loved at the time of her need. That for me is very important. I think that's, I don't know if that answers your question, but for now, that's what comes to my mind.
Thank you, sir. And lots of thoughts going through my mind as you were saying that. All that you have said, the affirmation, the public public esteem and recognition, and paying attention to my needs and all that, what that says to me is that it helps my head. It helps me in my mind to be at peace, because the crown rests on the head. It rests in where the brain is, where the thinking faculty is. So if I have good thoughts about myself, if I have good thoughts about my husband, if I have good thoughts about the person that is supposed to love me, that I'm confident the thoughts I have about him, they are thoughts of good. They are thoughts that I am priority in his mind. I don't have to wonder if I am special or important to him. I don't have to hang my head in shame because my husband has lifted my head up. I've read it somewhere that says, my glory and the lifter of my head. So from what you are saying, those are some things that I actually also see as placing the crown on the head of the woman, which you have so gallantly done. And that makes me to just want to celebrate you, to want to just give myself to you, my king, because you have held my head up, and yes, you have beautified my thoughts and my head with the crown of your kindness. And for this, I appreciate it. There was something you said about Vashti that was before me. And what that says to me also is that being the queen meant that I was chosen amongst other women, and that I should not take that lightly. Yes, I am the queen. I am the current queen, and I plan on being here for the long haul. But I always have to remember that I was chosen, and should not take that for granted and become careless. Though secured, I am not afraid, but I am also not taking you for granted and not just treating you carelessly, like you have no other choice, like you have no other option. And I think that is something that came to my mind just as you mentioned the fact that there was somebody before me. Sir, another question that I have for you is, as a king with so much authority, there was something unique that you did, which was to let me sign documents. You actually gave me your signet. How could you have done that?
Well, you are the queen, and any realm that has a capable queen that has been chosen, well thought through and chosen, is a secure realm. And I'm a secured person. I don't have any fears or anxieties about what my queen will do because I know my queen has the best interests of the king and the kingdom at heart. So why wouldn't I give you my signet ring to sign things in my own authority? I think I will counsel men to do the same. That the woman you choose to marry, the woman of your bosom, the woman who lies on your bosom, the woman to whom you give yourself, should be a person you can trust. You can trust with your life. I mean, if you can trust a woman with your life to give you food to eat, and you eat the food and drink to drink, and you drink the food, how come you cannot trust her with your possessions and with your authority? I think that is a very important aspect that all men need to be aware of. That the same woman that you trust with other aspects of your life, you should be able to trust with your authority so that she can dispense authority on your behalf. That's why I gave you my signet ring, to sign decrees and to write decrees and execute them. Why do I have to bother? I'm a secured man. And I think that should answer the question. Thank you. Or do you
Wow.
have any other thing?
Wow. That is such a huge trust and responsibility. And I am so glad that I did not disappoint you and that the
My
decree,
queen, my queen.
thank you, sir, that the decrees that I wrote along with my uncle Mordecai brought peace and harmony to the realm, along with protection for the threatened and the a set of people, my people, whose lives were in jeopardy. And you had said something about the role of the king is to ensure the safety and the protection in his realm, be it as a government, a kingdom, or within the household. And that brings to my mind the whole situation about Haman and your reaction that when you found out that Haman was planning to destroy my people, you were enraged, you were furious, and you actually commanded Haman to be hung. Why were you so emotional that way when it came to my safety, sir?
I believe in the Holy Book. I believe in the scriptures. I may not have shown it like that, but I believe in the scriptures of the Jewish people, that they are the people of God, because the Creator says, "He who touches you touches the apple of my eye." And that's the same way my queen is. Anybody who ventures to touch my queen is trying to pluck out my eye.
Oh,
So why would I not protect that which is precious to me? Why would I not become emotional and go all out to protect my wife, my queen, the one that I chose? Oh, that is the least you can expect of a man, to be the protector of his realm, to protect his wife from himself. He too can do some very insane things. He needs to protect his wife from himself and from external aggression. Any external aggression. I'm talking about in-laws, outlaws, friends, family. There are some people who do not mean well for your realm. And you need to protect your family, protect your wife, secure your family, your wife, your children from external aggression and even internal aggression. So I had no other choice, my queen. I had no other choice. Yes, Haman was my highest ranking minister. It was like the vice president, or the, what do you call it, the prime minister, you know. But he had to go. No, he had to go. Not when he threatened my queen and her people. He had to go. I had to make a choice. And it had to be a public choice to let everybody know that anybody who dares to touch the apple of my eye will be dealt with publicly. And that's what I had to do. Hung him publicly on a gallows 90 feet tall, so that everybody everywhere would see that my family, my wife, my children are precious to me, like the apple of my eye. And I speak to all men and I say, protect your investment. Protect your wife from people who think they are doing you good. No, they are not doing you good. Anybody who touches your wife or makes your wife aggrieved or sorrowful or hurt is actually aiming for you, and they got what was closest to you. So protect your wife. Protect your wife from in-laws that don't mean well for you. Protect your wife from friends that don't mean well for you, or even your business, your workplace that doesn't mean well for you. Protect your treasure, your precious possession, your wife, your children. Protect them. As the king of your realm, make sure they are protected.
Wow, I'm just so lost for word, my king. I will celebrate you as long as I live, because my heart is confident that you have placed me as a priority, as your priority. You know, I never have to wonder if anybody else is more important to you than I am. I never have to. You have proven it to me. You have shown me that you stand by my side anyway, anyhow, anywhere. That and you did not make anybody have to ever wonder about where your allegiance is. I am so confident that nobody can come between you and I, O King. And that is why I celebrate you. That is why I celebrate you, sir. I'm also very grateful to you that when I prepared a banquet for you, as busy as you were, you made out time to respond to my invitation. Not once. You came, you left everything that you were doing and came to my banquet. That is so appreciated. You ate what I prepared. You affirmed the way I dressed myself up to present myself to you. And my question to you also is, what word do you have for men about responding to their wife's initiative, or when their wife makes the first move of inviting them either into the bedroom or into the kitchen, or, and she just says, come. What advice do you have for men?
Well, it's almost obvious from the way you described it. It's almost obvious that a man in his right mind should respond positively. It's been known that most conflicts that are unresolved, as a king, I have to settle a lot of disputes, especially in the realm, to make sure there's peace. Most conflict that are unresolved has been attributable to men not being willing to turn towards the soft approaches of their wives. When a wife makes a soft move towards the husband and the husband is acting stubborn or, set in his ways, I want to advise men that, just like I did when my wife invited me, yes, I had the affairs of state to run, but it's my wife, for crying out loud. It's my wife. Yes, she's the queen, but she's my wife. She invited me to spend time with her. That was important to her. She didn't
Yes.
tell me what she wanted to discuss. She didn't have to. I had to put everything aside. The king of Egypt wanted to come, the Pharaoh wanted to come, and the ones from Babylon wanted to come, and those from other realms wanted to come and spend an evening. No, my
Oh,
wife, she wanted me 2 days in a row, and she got 2 days in a row. She can have me all the time. So I would say for men, you know, to turn towards your wife. Always have a soft answer for your wife. Always be willing to go the extra mile for your wife. It's sometimes hard for men to do that, but I will encourage you. If you want peace in your home, if you want joy in your home, if you want your wife to always be available for you, be very gentle and don't be harsh and hard like women are. Muscles, yeah, but we need soft touch. So turn towards your wife. When she says, come with me to the kitchen, go with her into the kitchen. You never know. She may have a piece of juicy meat she wants to put in your mouth. And don't think she's trying to put you to work. No. If she comes, say, come with me to the bedroom. Go with her to the bedroom. You never know. You never know. Something good may be waiting for you. So I would just say, be willing to respond to your wife softly and tenderly.
thank you. Thank you, O King. I am delighted to be your queen. And that is why I celebrate you and the likes of men who take their realm, their home, their household as seriously as you have done. And as we celebrate men all over the world, we celebrate especially the men who chose us and we chose. We responded as we were selected. Well, you may wonder, Queen Esther, did you have any option other than to be with the king? Yes, I had. I could have chosen not to go. I knew who the king was when the announcement went out that he was looking for a queen. And I chose that that was the man I wanted to spend my life with. So it was a two-way choice that had to be made. But I also want to say thank you for choosing me, and thank you for investing your time, your possession, your powers, your energies, your affections in our marital relationship. And for each time you would say, I will give you up to half of my kingdom generously. That was very special to me. But I know that because I already have you, I already had the whole kingdom actually.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Which was demonstrated by the fact that I could reign with you. I thank you, sir, and for all other men who are like King Ahasuerus, we celebrate you. So, for other queens out there, we encourage you to celebrate these special men. Let them know very concrete and definite ways that you are grateful for who they are and what they do, that we do not take them for granted. Let us express it. Let us say it. Let us write it. We can whisper it in a call, in a text, in whatever way. I leave that to you. You are smart. You know how to be a queen. You will do what you know is best. Thank you for hanging out with us on One Queen and Four Kings. Bye for now.